Very well done, Bo. Thank you very much for that. Glenn Wheeler here, folks, through until midnight tonight. And whether I've got your attention for a short time or indeed a long time, we've got plenty in store. Kicking off straight off with the Clubhouse from 6 till 7. And then my old mate Janelle Bloom joins us for My Kitchen. No rules. No, My Kitchen. Just no rules at 7 o'clock. And then Wheeler from 8 o'clock tonight. And, of course, we're looking forward to your input, as always, via the open line on 131873 or the email at 2gb.com. Let's get rolling.
Welcome to the Clubhouse on a Saturday night, thanks to FiftyUpClub.com. And now, here's your host with the most, Glenn Wheeler.
Great to be with you on this Saturday night. As I say, heading through until midnight tonight, and stacks coming up between now and midnight too. A little bit of something for everyone, including a look at the fabulous New Year celebrations that are certainly underway in Sydney at the moment. We do Chinese New Year almost as well, in fact better, I think, in some respects than the Chinese do. We have the largest Chinese celebration outside of Asia, believe it or not, and tomorrow night the Twilight Parade, which many of you would be familiar with, gets underway. We'll have a chat to Gil Minavini shortly to get a bit of a heads up in relation to all of that. And we'll also be taking a look at the exhibition on at the Powerhouse Museum, the Upsatorium, which sounds fascinating. I have seen a little bit of it, and it certainly sounds fascinating. A whole bunch of inventions, basically, that never really saw the light of day. And I guess that can happen, can't it? But it's good to know that people are creative and coming up with wonderful new ideas and things. Thanks to the Clubhouse, of course, 50Up Club, and if you haven't joined yet, you should, 50upclub.com.au. You don't need the AU, just 50upclub.com will get you there. But great deals, great special offers coming out. There are still more to come, and membership is up, well and truly up over 50,000 now, so jump on board. It's very easy to join, it won't cost you anything, and all you've got to do is just go to the website. You've just got to be over 50 years of age, because there are many of us over 50 years of age, and that number is increasing at a rapid rate, at a scarily frightening rapid rate, to be perfectly honest. Hey, look, have you ever enjoyed the prospect of, just having a little bit of a sing-song to yourself? They say that singing is good for the soul, and I think that there wouldn't be too many people that really couldn't admit to having a bit of a sing-song every now and then, belting out a tune, whether it's in the shower or whether it's in the car when you're driving along. I love driving along in a car and you look at somebody in the car next to you and away they go. They're singing for their lives. Fantastic. It doesn't matter whether you know the words. You make the words up as you go. We all do that. But have you ever thought about actually joining a choir? Actually taking that step forward, that leap of faith and saying, I'm going to go and join a group of people who also like to sing. Well, apparently a lot of people have. And it doesn't necessarily follow that there are certain ages of people doing it, or more blokes than women. Apparently the cross-section of people getting involved in joining choirs and joining singing groups is quite phenomenal. And we had a group in here over Christmas, you might recall, just in the lead-up to Christmas, who they're a voluntary group, but basically comprised of everybody from street people through to professional types, who get together once a month and just enjoy singing for the sake of singing. It is, they say, very good for the soul. The singing business itself is going great guns, and I think that's terrific, particularly when it's something that people of all ages can do. So you don't have to be, particularly young or old. You don't have to be a churchy. You can be anybody, basically, and there's usually something on offer. Gary Smith is the creative director of Acapella Central. And Acapella Central is a website that I discovered that actually allows for choirs and choral groups and basically singers from all over the place to be able to publicise their groups. So if you've got something coming up, then you just publicise your group and you put it on the website to say this is where you're going to be. And if you're looking for new members or if somebody wants to join, they can do that as well. I thought we'd get Gary on the line to have a chat to us tonight. G'day, Gary.
G'day, Glenn. How are you?
Good, thanks. Look, my take on the whole increase in singing. Have you noticed that? I mean, my evidence is anecdotal stuff from people I talk to. A lot of people I know that are just getting involved in singing groups and having a lot of fun doing it.
It's a huge thing now. It's growing by the day. People are joining choirs all over the place. They're mushrooming. Really, it's fantastic.
Why is it? Is it something that what's prompted it? Sometimes it's a movie or some sort of an overseas trend that's going on. But is there a rhyme or reason to this?
Well, look, I've got a theory. My theory is that in the old days we used to get around the piano and have a sing when we were at home, but people don't seem to do that so much anymore. So I think people are looking for other avenues where they can meet together and have a sing.
You know what? You're right, 100%. I'd forgotten about that. We had a piano at home where, when we grew up, in the little old 3-bedroom weatherboard house in Caringbah.
Yep.
And my mum played the piano by ear, so she wasn't much on reading music. She really couldn't read music by her own admission. But she would sit down after dinner and belt out a tune on the piano, and we'd all sit in the lounge room and sing along. It was fantastic.
Yeah, well, I think people are doing that more and more. And, there's such an enormous amount of community spirit that's developed in choirs. People come together, they can socialise together, they form new groups. It gets them out of the sort of alienation and that feeling that you get from living in a big city where you don't have a lot of contact with people. So I think, it's very positive. It's very therapeutic singing in choirs.
I'm guessing that it could also be daunting for those people, and we've probably got people listening to us right now thinking, you know what, I'd love to join a group and go along and regularly be able to, sing along, whatever it might be. But I just don't know that I'm going to be up to it. How do they go in terms of, sorting out those who are great singers and those who are good singers and those who are dreadful singers?
Well, if you're talking about if you're a choir director like I am, and you've got people coming along who are a bit insecure with their singing, what we do is we try to create an environment where there's no threat for those people. It's very welcoming. We give them easy things to sing. We don't ask them to sing any solos. If they make mistakes, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Because people get better just by doing it anyway. And if they do have serious problems, there are people that they can go to help with that.
So maybe if you're that interested, you can go and have a few lessons.
A few lessons. That's a fantastic thing. It's amazing the number of vocal problems that can be sorted out with one or two lessons. So I advise people if they're worried about their singing, join a choir. Join a choir, and if you're not sort of terribly good at it, then one or two lessons might fix you up.
Well, that's a great bit of advice. I have a friend who is in his early 70s, and he just recently joined his words, a singing group, and they meet weekly and they sing, and they just sing for fun.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's he said he likened it to a cross between a barbershop quartet and a big choir. He said whoever turns up turns up. We have a list of songs that we sing from, and sometimes we do it with music, sometimes we just do it without. But you know what? He said at the end of it, we have a great day.
Oh, it's a fantastic thing to do. I've got 4 choirs that I work with, one in Bondi called Bondi Sings, and I've got one in Marrickville at the golf club. They meet at the golf club. They're called the Bridge on the River Choir. And fantastic.
I love it.
They just have such a great time because the bar's always open, That's the thing.
Better still. And you see, that's a very good point, because I notice, and I don't know whether this has ever been medically proven or not, Gary, but I notice that, if I've had a few drinks, I sing much better.
It's amazing, that effect, don't you think?
It's miraculous. It's extraordinary, and particularly if I'm in one of those pubs that does karaoke, like the Covent Garden Hotel in Haymarket there, I've been known to belt out K-San better than anybody.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's truly amazing.
Yeah, quite incredible. But I'm sure that the professional singers don't touch a drop before they get on stage. They're just gifted and talented. Anybody that is keen to pursue a bit of, not a singing career, but a bit of fun singing along, can jump on your website, I guess, and find any number of groups there that do all sorts of things, from, I guess, just fun stuff through to specialty groups.
Yeah, my website's called Acapella Central, and around Australia I've got 200 choirs listed, and those choirs are listed for free, and all of their performances are listed for free. So if people want to Google Acapella Central and go there and have a look, they'll find a choir somewhere in Sydney where they can join, or they can ring me up. My phone number's there. They can get in touch with me, and I'll advise them.
Yeah, great stuff. Good on you, Gary. Many thanks for that. Good to chat.
Okay, thanks, Ben.
Gary Smith, Acapella Central, and the website is Acapella Central, ACAPPELLA, acapellacentral.com.au. club.com. So if you go to the website, all the details are there, and as he says, his number's there as well, and a whole list of groups that you may like to join up and belt out a tune with. It's just gone 6:15. This is Glenn Wheeler on I was going to say my clubhouse, but it's not really my clubhouse. Well, it can be, I suppose. My clubhouse, my kitchen, my radio station, really.
2GB traffic thanks to Auto Jaguar with the new XF from $74,990 plus a unique finance offer.
Harris Farm Markets are giving away a brand new Toyota Yaris. Just spend $30 or more in-store or online and enter on their website. Conditions apply. Permit 1400147.
That's it. Done. My very own deck. Perfect for sitting outside with a cold one watching the sport. And there's plenty of it on at the moment. The missus never thought I'd be able to do it. Blokes who wear ties can't DIY. But with a little help from my new mates at Haters Timber and Paving, putting this baby together was a cinch. Now the real work begins.
Haters Timber and Paving, 35 Northern Road, Narellan. Call 4646 1478.
Smart travellers are choosing China Eastern Airlines for their international travel and taking advantage of a stopover in Shanghai on the way to over 1,000 world destinations. China Eastern boasts one of the most modern fleets of aircraft in the world, including the brand new A33E with those magnificent flatbed business seats. That's the way to travel. Book your next international travel with China Eastern and you could win the chance to join me on our 2014 China Adventure. Oh, this is going to be sensational. I can't wait. We're off for 14 fabulous, 14 nights? 12 nights, I can't remember, something like that. And we're going to Yunnan province. It's going to be wonderful. But if you book your next international travel with China Eastern, you'll be in the running to actually win a place for yourself on that trip with me in June, valued at more than $5,500. It includes business class seats, all accommodation, meals and sightseeing. So go to the China Eastern website for full details, or simply call China Eastern next time you're booking international flights. Get a price from them. I think you'll be amazed. Great value for money. 9373 8600. 9373 8600.
The savings don't get any bigger than the massive clearance sale on now at Hughes Clothing Company. I'm Brian Hughes, and at Hughes Clothing Company, we've reduced prices store-wide. Sizes small men's right up to 15XL. Shorts from $20. Business and sports shirts from $20. Jeans and trousers from $40. There's no gimmicks, just massive savings. Right now at Hughes Clothing Company. Upper level at Basil Plaza with free easy parking. Hughes Clothing Company, making big blokes look their best.
Renovation Boys up to 70% off sale is on now with huge discounts store-wide. Methven Bonza shower head is below cost at $29. Grollo floor grates 70% off, only $9. Linstall Overton tapware and accessories 70% off. Frankie Steel baths 70% off, only $280. The sale's on now till Sunday, February 2 at Renovation Boys, Camperdown, North Parramatta and online. Phone 1300-GO-BOYS. That's 1300-GO-BOYS.
You're listening to The Clubhouse with Glenn Wheeler on 2GB 873. Thanks to 50upclub.com.
Have we got any singers out there tonight that have joined a choir? Maybe you've been part of a choir for a long, long time. Any people listening to us now that regularly go along to some sort of a singing group, like my mate in his early 70s and goes along to a barbershop quartet style of thing, basically. Well, that's his description of it, but it's just a fun way to get together and build out a few tunes. I'd love to hear from anyone that's actually part of a group that meets on a regular basis, and the impact that it's had on you and your life, really, because it's something that I guess a lot of people probably don't necessarily think about. And as you get older, we talk about retirement and getting involved in sport, particularly. I'm going to play golf and I'm going to do this and I'm going to travel, but join a singing group? Nah, you're kidding, aren't you? Well, I reckon it could be a lot of fun. So if you are a singer, if you've had a crack at singing, and if you're part of a singing group, or indeed if you've got a singing group, maybe you've got a community group of some sort, you've got a choir and you're on the hunt for some new members, give us a call. 131873 is the number. Love to have a chat to you. Just pick up the phone, 131873. 873. Here's something for the lovers of cakes and sweets and things, though. There's a show coming up next month in March for all the cake lovers in this city. It's going to be held at the Sydney Showground at Homebush, and they're going to host the Cake, Bake and Sweets Show. This sounds absolutely scrumptious. Mark Harvey is the organiser and joins us on the line to tell us more about it. G'day, Mark.
G'day.
This sounds like a wonderful way to spend a day or a couple of days and just getting in amongst some beautiful sweets and desserts and cakes and things. Baking has undergone an amazing resurgence in recent years, hasn't it?
Look, it has. I think you only got to look at the supermarket shelves, or there's many food blogs popping up now, and a lot of the foodie magazines are covering baking on their covers, and TV shows, and so in response to this growing fascination, we thought it was time to create an event that was dedicated everything to baking. So whether it's sweet or savoury, that's what Cake, Bake and Sweet Show is all about.
That's good.
We'd like to call it a festival of deliciousness.
I like that. Festival of deliciousness. And have you found in putting this together, and obviously talking to a lot of people, I note you've got a lot of high-profile people in the industry coming along as well to do demonstrations and things. Have you noticed that, there are probably as many blokes these days involved in baking and cake making, etc., as there are women?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it shows no bias in the kitchen when it comes to baking.
It's funny, though.
If you look at the people that we've got involved in the show, it's very well balanced. It's half our celebrity chefs and bakers and chocolatiers are men, and the other half are women. So yeah, absolutely.
So which really dispels the old days of Mum would be at home on the weekend baking cakes and slices and delicious desserts and things, whilst Dad was out giving the car a grease and oil change. That may not necessarily be the case these days. They might be fighting for equal time in the kitchen, Mark.
Oh, absolutely, and I think also it's baking's undergone a lot of change over years, and we see kids in the kitchen now.
Yeah, that's true.
Baking and having fun, and it's a great family activity, and teenagers are involved with it.
So are kids getting a look in at the Cake, Bake and Sweet Show as well?
Oh, absolutely. Doesn't matter what your age, what level of experience you've got, whether you're a passionate home baker or you're just starting out and just want to learn the fundamentals. This show is for everyone, including the professionals as well.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because if we wind the clock back a few years, cake decorating was something that there were a few standout experts, in capital cities around the country that were always called upon for the fancy cakes and the really clever decorating stuff. Now cake decorating is something that's also worked its way into the domestic kitchen, and Mum and the kids are having a crack at making all sorts of whiz-bang cakes for birthdays and special occasions, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's cake decorating is really an amazing, I think to some degree, an underground movement. A lot of people don't realise how big cake decorating is in Australia. Well, worldwide for that matter.
Yeah.
And look, again, if you look at television shows, especially on lifestyle food, there's a whole host of cake shows that feature cake decorators from around the globe. We're fortunate to have those people coming to this show, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, very good. Now, Cake, Bake and Sweets it's being held over 3 days, isn't it?
Absolutely. 21st to the 23rd of March out at Sydney Showgrounds, Olympic Park. And
can visitors get involved? Can they get their hands dirty? What's happening in relation to, on-site courses and things?
Sure. There's so much going on. It's we wanted to create something that's much more different than your traditional food shows that people go to. This is really about creating a what we like to call a visitor experience, so they can whether it's watching live demos and seeing chefs live in action, that's one thing, but people want to learn, they want to improve their skills, they want to learn new techniques. So we've created an environment that lends itself to that, so people can do hands-on workshops, they can do classes, 30-minute classes to half-day workshops through to full workshops.
Yeah, great. So you can go out there, have a bit of fun, learn some new skills, possibly in the process, and I'm guessing doing a bit of taste testing as well.
Oh, absolutely. and it's important to remember that, look, this is a foodie show as well. So even if you're not proficient in the kitchen, even if you don't bake, there is so much at this show that, if you just love food and you love delicious food, whether it's cakes or breads, artisan breads has been something that's, also under a resurgence in this country as well. So, come along. We've got a big food market there as well. We've got the largest exhibition showcasing the latest in baking equipment and all the supplies and cake decorating supplies. It's a great day out, not only for you, for mum and dad and the kids, but also, with your friends.
Sounds like a lot of fun. 21 to 23 March, Sydney Olympic Park. Mark Harvey, thank you for joining us tonight.
Terrific, thank you.
Mark Harvey, cakebakensweets.com is the website, which is very informative. All the details are there. 21 to 23 March, Sydney Olympic Park. Mark just reminded me then of a neighbour we used to have years ago that every Sunday morning, Ray, he's still around, God love him, Ray and Nancy, our neighbours next door. Ray had the best choco vine in the world, largely because it grew on his side of the fence, but it grew on all the neighbours' fences as well. Huge. A good choco vine can deliver thousands, literally, of chocos over many, many years. And his certainly did. But he used to bake his own bread every Sunday morning. And he'd bake bread for himself and bread for us. And he'd bring it in on a Sunday morning. It was magnificent. And I'll tell you what, home-baked, properly, fresh-baked home-style bread just tastes so much better. It's like growing your own veggies. So much better and lasts much longer as well than the stuff you buy from the supermarket. 26 after 6. This is the Clubhouse on 2GB.
Sydney's #1 talkback station is in the Twitterverse, and you can join the conversation. To follow us, just head to Twitter and search for 2GB873. We'll be tweeting about upcoming guests, contests and events, as well as all the breaking news of the day. Wherever you are, 2GB has you covered. Follow 2GB on Twitter at 2GB873. The Power Station. Head to Twitter and search for 2GB873.
One of the big things we look forward to on Saturday nights is turning the microphone on. Thank you, Jerome. Is turning the microphone on so that you can hear what I have to say about De Botley. They're great sponsors of ours on a Saturday night. De Botley Wines, great winemakers, have been making Butte wine here in Australia for 3 generations, which is outstanding. But their wine is even better than the fact that they've been making it for 3 generations. They started back in 1928 and they're still going strong in 2014. They've won a stack of awards. Make sure you try it. Whether it's a red, a white, a bubbly or a sticky, whatever, there is literally a De Botley wine for everyone. Next time you're buying wine, think De Botley.
It's a big world, and Cathay Pacific's Chinese New Year airfare sale will have you discovering it for less. Choose from 33 cities on sale throughout Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, Japan and Korea. And to add to your escape, fly Cathay Pacific Premium Economy Class and relax in a wider seat with greater recline. Fly Sydney to Hong Kong Premium Economy from $1,253. Premium Economy Sydney to Beijing from $1,322. And Sydney to Tokyo in comfort with Premium Economy for just $1,330. Don't miss out. Cathay Pacific's Chinese New Year airfare sale is on now. For travel dates and terms and conditions, see your travel agent or visit cathaypacific.com.au.
The mattress styles are full of surprises. Sometimes you get a king, queen or a double for a single price. Unbelievable. Compare their inflated single prices with other competitors and us. Rockdale Mattress Factory, 610 Princess Highway, Rockdale.
Who cares about the children? The children. Who cares about us all? Us all. Who cares about the oppressed?
The Australian Rotary Health Research Fund is holding community forums on mental health and funding health research in Australia by Australians.
About tomorrow.
Phone 1300 364 244 or visit our website.
You're listening to The Clubhouse with Glenn Wheeler on 2GB 873. Thanks to 50upclub.com.
Here's something else that is always worthwhile going along to at this time of the year. You've got to love this time of the year, summertime. I went down to the Domain to the St George Open Air Cinema during the week. That's fantastic. That really is just a great event. And again, if you've never done it, do it. Buy yourself a ticket. Probably can't get tickets these days. It's probably sold out. I think it sells out pretty much at the start of the season because I think, from what I can gather, most of the people who go along to that just go year after year after year, and they jump on day one and they book up their tickets, and that's it. There is nothing quite like sitting under the stars, looking westward towards the Harbour Bridge, and you've got this incredible panorama of Sydney Harbour in the afternoon. So the crowd starts to build up from about 5 o'clock. So 5, 6 o'clock, and the sun was beating down. We were there on Wednesday, and it was just glorious. The sun was beating down. It was just magnificent. Went and had a bevy or two. And then as the sun slips down behind the Harbour Bridge, and the sky you've got this spectacular hue over the, coming over the sky, and then the screen, this amazing screen just folds up, almost as if it's appearing out of the Sydney Harbour. But of course it's anchored in Sydney Harbour, but the screen itself just sort of lays flat, and then these hydraulic posts rise up, and they make the screen stand up in front of you, and then the movie comes on around about 8:30 when it's dark. It is just an amazing situation. I don't know how many people it holds down there in that area, but potentially, I guess, 1,000 people, maybe a few more. I don't know, hard to tell. A lot of people. A really wonderful experience if you've never done it before. You give it a shot. A really great experience. St George Open Air Cinema every year. But it reminded me of the other cinema, the Sunset Cinema that's on at North Sydney Oval. And whilst it may not be Sydney Harbour, it's still a great spot nonetheless. The Sunset Cinema. It's been going for a long, long time. They're on North Sydney Oval, and you can take your picnic basket along, or you can actually organise catering when you get there. In fact, a lot of people often think, outdoor cinema is something that's relatively new in Sydney, but it's not. The first outdoor cinema came to Sydney, believe it or not, back in 1909, when a couple of opticians, actually, believed that there was a better place to watch movies than cramped inside a theatre. And thus, Movies Under the Stars was born at North Sydney Oval. How about that? And the tradition continues through to this day. The hallowed turf of North Sydney Oval outfield has thousands of people, literally, of all walks and ages, heading along there to experience summer and movies outdoors. And it really is a special way to do it. North Sydney Oval on the corner of western corner of St Leonard's Park there at the intersection of Miller and Ridge Streets in North Sydney. I'd say one of Sydney's most historic and picturesque landmarks in many ways. It's just a delightful place to sit and enjoy a movie. And you can get there by public transport too, so very easy to get to. Nearest train station is North Sydney. Buses head to that direction as well. But if you go to their website, Sunset Cinema, they've got a full list of movies that are showing and how you can order hampers and all that sort of stuff. And I think it runs through until at least the end of February too. So you've still got a way to go if you want to get along and watch a movie there. Now, the name Henry A. Mintox may not ring too many bells, but, he's an extraordinary inventor. And apparently, currently being celebrated for his extraordinary inventions at the Powerhouse Museum. And you can check out many of his, not so fabulously successful inventions. Things like the automatic teapot designed to make tea at regular intervals during the day, to the handshaker gauge. This is one that caught my attention. The handshaker gauge, designed to assist employers when interviewing job applicants. And it measures how good the grip on the handshake is. Helen Whitty is the curator of the exhibition and joins us tonight to tell us a bit more about it. Hi, Helen.
Oh, hello, Glenn. How are you?
I'm well.
Yes, can you hear me clearly?
Can hear you beautifully. Coming to us live and loud from Tassie, I believe, tonight.
Yes. It's a beautiful afternoon it is.
Sensational. Henry A. Mintox. Now, it's fair to assume that a lot of people probably have never heard of Henry A. Mintox.
No, that's absolutely correct. It being fiction, out of the mind of our celebrated author and illustrator, Sean Tan. So everything in the exhibition is actually made up. It's all a series of fibs, which we actually thought was kind of playful and fun. And when we first did it, everyone was slightly aghast because you don't normally sell fibs in museum.
No.
It's
all supposed to be real.
No, well, all the objects are real. All the objects are real inventions, and some of them are celebrated in their own right. For example, we've got the fat suit out of Moulin Rouge by Baz Luhrmann and Catherine Martin, and you'd hardly say they were failures.
No, absolutely.
No, but in fact, under the hands of our Henry, who actually became quite real for me during the exhibition process, he decided he needed a fat suit because it was during the Depression and he wanted to impress fellow industrialists by his size. So he used to wear his fat suit and his shark skin shoes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so you brought a little bit of fiction to life there.
Yes, we tried a kind of another avenue to for interest in our collection, because the Powerhouse has the most fabulous collection of weird and wonderful things. And sometimes, we wanted to engage families in these weird and wonderful things. We wanted them to actually look at the objects and go, oh, that's hilarious, but what is it really? What are these things really? And and we also wanted to look at a theme which was important to the museum, which is the role of failure in an invention. And we think for kids that you think you're going to be one-shot wonders, and in fact that...
not necessarily so.
Not necessarily. That sometimes you actually have to try again.
Well, as you say on the website, inventions that sometimes can be described as useless, unnecessary, badly timed, and commercially unsuccessful.
That's right. But sometimes they stay that way, sadly. But other times they come into their own, like their ideas do come into their own. And we also say that the exhibition's for anyone who's ever made a mistake. So we kind of feel like that would have...
No. Surely there are none of us that have made mistakes.
Perhaps not you, Glenn.
No, not me. Never made a mistake in my life, Helen. Thank you. What about some of the standout exhibits? Have you got any personal favourites?
Well, I'm very fond... Oh, just before I go into my personal favourites, I have to say that 2/3 of the labels are written by a celebrated author and the other third are written by children. So they're written by children and the children actually can really make up a label with the best of them, I have to say. So all of the labels are kind of strangely plausible, but one of my personal favourites are the mouse slippers, and the mouse slippers do have a mouse face on them. They're completely charming, but of course Henry made them to try and cure his wife's fear of mice, but he put them on when she was asleep, and when she woke up, she kept running away and fell into a dam because she was trying to escape her own feet. So they're all so charming, and
I love
look at those slippers again.
I love the automatic teapot that makes tea at regular intervals during the day. I mean, that in a funny kind of a way, we've got coffee makers that do that now, so he wasn't too far off the mark with that one.
But the actual invention, that's what it was. In fact, Sean likes to he says the best lies are based in truth, and in fact it is an automatic tea maker, and from the 19th century. And we were all trying to figure out how actually does this kind of work, but, it did work, but it wasn't commercial. But, as you said, in our century we have automatic coffee makers, so it kind of did stand the test of time.
Yeah, exactly. Not so the handshake measurer to see whether someone's got a decent handshake when you're interviewing for a job.
But what a beautiful idea.
What a great idea. Yeah, what a great idea. It wouldn't get past first base in this day and age, though.
Oh, you don't think so?
I think there'd be rules and regulations against that, because you'd be taken to the court of whatever, because just because I've got a weak handshake, I missed out on the job.
You missed out on the job.
Yeah.
But there's also the truth trumpet, or the love trumpet, which is really
the love trumpet.
The love trumpet. I know there's been this is a family show, but the love trumpet is to assess the depth of your loved one's affection.
Right.
So it could be another one that actually, but you put it in your ear, Ray.
Okay.
Glenn, you put it in your ear.
Right. The love trumpet.
So,
okay. Well, that's a new one on me. I haven't heard of the love trumpet. Well, not that one anyway.
All of them, it's all very playful.
Yeah. No, it sounds like a lot of fun. And
you get the chance to write your own labels and publish your own labels in the space.
And the exhibition is on through until October.
That's correct.
Good stuff. Well, we'll all get along there and have a look and check out all the other funny, quirky little bits and pieces that are there at the Opsatorium. Thank you for joining us tonight, Helen.
Thank you very much, Glenn, and you have a nice night too.
Good on you. You too down there in Tassie.
All right, bye-bye.
Helen Whitty, she's the curator of the Opsatorium at the Powerhouse Museum, on now through until the 6th of October.
2GB traffic, thanks to Palmer's Glass. For your shower screens, contact Palmer's Glass.
Having an ordinary day? Don't drive home to Ordinary Furniture. You can still get up to 50% off selected King Furniture sofas. But hurry, the summer sale ends soon.
Renovation Boys up to 70% off sale is on now with huge discounts store-wide. Methven Bonza shower head is below cost at $29. Grollo floor grates 70% off, only $9. Linstall Overton tapware and accessories 70% off. Frankie Steel baths 70% off, only $280. The sale's on now till Sunday, February 2 at Renovation Boys, Camperdown, North Parramatta and online. Phone 1300-GO-BOYS. That's 1300-GO-BOYS.
Smart travellers are choosing China Eastern Airlines for their international travel and taking advantage of a stopover in Shanghai on the way. China Eastern boasts one of the most modern fleets of aircraft in the world, including the brand new A330E with luxurious flatbed business seats. Book your next international travel with China Eastern and you could win the chance to join me on our next 2014 China Adventure, valued at more than $5,500. That includes business class seats and all accommodation, meals and sightseeing. Go to the China Eastern website for full details or call China Eastern on 9373 8600.
Better get a Weber at Barbecue Ranch.
With summer here, you better get a Weber from Barbecue Ranch, the only store in Australia that's exclusively Weber. So whatever style, size or budget, Barbecue Ranch will make it easy. Right now, you'll get a free all-weather Weber cover with every barbecue purchase. With summer here, you better get a Weber at Barbecue Ranch, Supercentre Moore Park and DFO Homebush.
Better get a Weber at Barbecue Ranch.
Looking for a great deal and a chance to win? Well, get yourself to Australian Fleet Sales Windsor. For only $30, they'll change your oil and filter on the spot. No bookings, no calls. Just turn up and mention this ad. It's exclusive for 2GB listeners. $30 for an on-the-spot oil and filter change is a great deal. But guess what? You can also win 10 grand. So get out to Australian Fleet Sales Windsor for your $30 oil and filter change today. 2 Hawkesbury Valley Way, Windsor. So get out there now. Conditions apply.
LTPS 1310155.
Australian Fleet Sales.
You're listening to The Clubhouse with Glenn Wheeler on 2GB 873. Thanks to 50upclub.com.
We might as well get ourselves in the mood. Yesterday marked the first official day of Chinese New Year celebrations. Bungi Fat Choi to all our Asian friends. 2014, the year of the horse, wooden horse. I think it's important you've got to spell out the fact that it's a wooden horse. And the City of Sydney's Chinese New Year Festival has once again turned it on. We do a festival for Chinese New Year here, bigger and better than I think anywhere. Somebody from the City of Sydney, and it may have even been Lord Mayor Clover Moore a year or two ago, said to me at a function, she said, you know, outside of Asia, ours is the biggest Lunar New Year celebration. I don't know whether that's still the case. I'm guessing it probably is. Gil Manavani is the Chinese New Year Festival's creative director and most likely up to her armpits right now in red lanterns and things, I guess, getting ready for the Twilight Parade. But she's taken some time out to have a chat to us tonight. Hello, Gil.
Hi, Glenn. Long time no see. Lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, great to talk to you too. Gongi Fat Choi.
Yes, Gongi Fat Choi. I hope the year of the horse is very good. Good to you. You a horse?
No, I'm a rat.
Ah.
I'm a rat, which is very... If you ask my wife, she'd say, yeah, that's very appropriate.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
No, okay, just leave that alone. I'm guessing, rightly, I'm assuming that you're up to your armpits at the moment, getting ready for tomorrow night?
Look, I've got a fantastic team, so, you know, like anything, it's you're only as good as the people around you, and they're actually better than me. So, you know, yeah...
Oh, Gil, stop it.
Up to our necks, but tomorrow night is our big night. It's the Twilight Parade. So we actually kicked off last Friday, so we've been going full bore since... Oops,
we've lost her. She's going that hard that we've lost her, so she's just disappeared off the line, but we'll get her back up on the line. The New Year Festival and the Twilight Parade is quite awesome. I think there's probably, 500,000 people, turn out on the streets. Maybe not that many, maybe that's an exaggeration, but a lot of people turn out to watch this parade. It really is quite spectacular. Gil, you were saying that you started last Friday?
Yeah, started last Friday, and we have over nearly 80 events in the festival now that runs for about 3 weeks, and tomorrow night's our big one, the Twilight Parade. So yeah, we're really in amongst it right now.
The crowd, I was just saying, the crowd, like I said, 500,000. That's probably an exaggeration, but it'd be 100,000 or more.
Well, Yeah, police estimate over 100,000.
Wow.
I've got a feeling tomorrow night's going to be even more than that because, as you know, Glenn, every year we do it. The media, get more interested. There's more people coming over from China. And not only that, the last few years, the Korean and Vietnamese communities have got involved. So it's really a celebration of the Lunar New Year. So not just for the Chinese community, but for everyone. And the interesting thing is that our market research tells us that our audience is almost completely evenly split, so 50% from Asian background and 50% from non-Asian background. So it's no longer, a little community event. It's an event for everyone.
Now, the Twilight Parade, which is the big colourful parade that takes place tomorrow night, that actually kicks off at 8 o'clock, is that right? I don't have the website in front of me.
Yeah, that's right, 8 o'clock at Town Hall, and we do the official eye-dotting ceremony where we dot the eyes of the lions and bring them to life and do a big show, and it takes off down George Street and goes into Goulburn, Sussex, Hay, and finishes up in Harbour Street, so just near the entertainment centre there.
Oh, it'll be chock-a-block tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Lots of excitement, lots of fun, and plenty of dim sims, dumplings, and anything else you care to turn your hand at. In fact, I noticed, I had a look at the website, the fabulous City of Sydney Chinese New Year website, which is, folks, if you want to have a look at it, sydneychinesenewyear.com. Very comprehensive. There's a whole range of activities happening, aren't there? You touched on that before, Gil, but there's...
Yeah, everything from sort of art exhibitions to...
Dragon boat racing.
Events, seminars and talks, tours of Chinatown. It's just a huge festival now, and really every major kind of cultural organisation in Sydney, as well as lots of community organisations, lots of restaurants, have all got behind it. So it's a pretty terrific festival. And
are we still the largest celebration outside of Asia here in Sydney?
Yeah, we are. And one of and even the unique thing about us is that we're a 3-week festival, whereas most of the others aren't. But we are head and shoulders bigger than the other big ones outside of China, London, San Francisco, and we're much bigger than them. So it's something to be proud of, I think.
Absolutely, well done. Well, anything you're involved in is always a roaring success, Gil.
Oh, you're a sweetie.
Lovely to chat to you again. Have a great night tomorrow night. I might try and get along tomorrow night and stand on the side of the road there somewhere and watch it because it is a spectacle. There's no doubt about that. Thanks, Gil.
Love to see you there.
Good on you.
And Happy New Year to everyone.
Thanks, Gil. Gil Manavini there from the City of Sydney. It really is a great spectacle if you can get along tomorrow night to see it. Kicks off 8 o'clock tomorrow night at George Street. The Year of the Horse. And people born in the Year of the Horse are strong-minded, energetic and very sociable. So there we are. And because it's a wood horse year, natives of the Year of the Horse will have even more energy. And this year they'll gallop along, apparently. Horses should watch out for their temper towards the end of the year, though, as they can easily get a little bit het up. Wood horses work hard and they're good decision makers. They're great at socialising and capable of having a large circle of friends, but sometimes talk too much. I'm a rat, not a horse. Maybe I'm a wooden horse, judging by that. Yeah, the Lunar New Year and the Chinese, or the Chinese New Year as it's known, kicking off yesterday officially and will run for a 3-week celebration. Isn't that great to know that Sydney has the largest celebration outside of Asia? We do a lot of things right here, don't we? And if you want to get into the swing of it, decorate the house in red to bring good fortune. And bowls of mandarins, apparently, according to Chinese folklore, bring happiness.
Ray Hadley, The Power Program.
Prime Minister Tony Abbott.
I can understand your frustration.
Holding them to account.
They're left to their own devices and self-regulation. It doesn't work.
The ABC takes everyone's side but Australia.
No one holds them accountable.
Representing you.
Today, we're being told there'll be a review of the ABC. I know one way to cut costs. Get rid of the ABC correspondent in Jakarta. Put him on a plane and bring him home.
Ray Hadley, 9 till 12 weekdays, 2GB 873.
Now, de Botley, of course, making great wine and sponsors of ours on a Saturday night. That's why we encourage you to buy de Botley Wines. When you're buying wine, take the guesswork out because it can be like that, can't it? If you're not a real wine buff and you don't know what you're looking for, you get a little bit confused. You walk into the bottle shop and there are so many different labels. Just go for a de Botley. They are great people, the de Botley family. 3rd generation now of winemakers here in Australia, and we should be very proud of the fact that they're an Australian winemaking family. and making a great product. De Botley. That's why we love them on a Saturday night. In fact, every night, really.
It's a big world, and Cathay Pacific's Chinese New Year airfare sale will have you discovering it for less. Choose from 33 cities on sale throughout Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, Japan and Korea. And to add to your escape, fly Cathay Pacific Premium Economy Class and relax in a wider seat with greater recline. Fly Sydney to Hong Kong Premium Economy from $1,253. Premium Economy Sydney to Beijing from $1,322. And Sydney to Tokyo in comfort with Premium Economy for just $1,330. Don't miss out. Cathay Pacific's Chinese New Year airfare sale is on now. For travel dates and terms and conditions, see your travel agent or visit cathaypacific.com.au.
Often you hear ads with up to 50% off. It means that you have to carry binoculars to find that mattress in the shops. At Rockdale Mattress Factory, we make and sell direct all year round. Rockdale Mattress Factory, 610 Princess Highway, Rockdale.
You're listening to The Clubhouse with Glenn Wheeler on 2GB 873. Thanks to 50upclub.com.
Righto at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 minutes to 7 o'clock. Janelle Bloom will join us in the kitchen after 7, my kitchen. And because we are right at the start of the Chinese New Year, we're going to talk a little bit about Chinese food tonight too. In fact, Chinese tapas. How about that? Something a little bit different. But first up, let's take a look at what is in store for us weather-wise over the next couple of days, maybe the next week. James Casey from Weather Zone joins me on the line. G'day, James.
Hey there, Glenn. How are you?
I'm well. We've had a spectacular week. I tell you what, it was, whilst we could do with some rain, the past week was just glorious.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been beautiful, and it's going to look like continuing, actually.
Okay, so let's look at tomorrow first up. What's in store for Sunday?
Yeah, so tomorrow it's looking mostly sunny, topping out at 27, so a real pearl. Get down to the beach if you can. And then on Monday, it looks like the sun's going to stick around again. It's going to change on Tuesday, though, with a windy change coming through, with up to 5 millimetres of showers. Yeah. Yeah, so that's sort of going to put a bit of dampener on the week. But
so showers, but not we're not necessarily talking about anything too dramatic.
Nothing dramatic, no. So if you just some light showers, and with that wind, so it's not going to be as pleasant a day as the last week has been.
Okay, and towards the end of the week, any sign of any serious rain happening?
Not really, but it is going to cool down a touch. So Wednesday's only getting to 22 degrees, and the chance for shower, not as likely as on Tuesday, but yeah, still a chance. And then Thursday, a little bit warmer, 24 degrees, and showers less likely. It is going to dry up by Friday, though, 26 degrees.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess sooner or later we'll get a bit of rain on the way, but in the meantime we better keep putting that sprinkler out.
That's it. Got to keep watering those gardens.
Correct. Good on you, James.
All right, thanks for that.
James Casey there from Weather Zone joining us to give us a bit of a sneak peek at the week ahead. Another cracker coming up tomorrow by all reports. Ah, yes. We've had some magnificent weather during the week. It's just been outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Lovely stuff, but dry, isn't the ground? Everything is so dry at the moment, really dry. Now, looking at the Chinese zodiac, the animal zodiac is on a 12-year cycle, apparently. And the years don't coincide exactly with the Western calendar because the start and the end of each year depends on the lunar cycle. Years of the horse, which is what 2014 is, right, where this is the year of the horse, the year of the wooden horse. If you are born in 1930, 1942, 1954, 1966, 1978, 1990, is that you, Jerome? 1990. 1990. Or 2002 or 2014, obviously, you are the year of the horse. So there we are. It's interesting, isn't it, how they work all that out? I wonder what it means. So, 1930, 1942, 1954, 1966. I know that I'm a rat. I definitely know I'm a rat. Oh, there's no secret there. I am dead set a rat. My wife tells me on a regular basis. If she's listening now, she'd be nodding her head in agreement. I think she told me about 16 times just this past week, to be perfectly honest.